Devastating photographs show a granddad's family home before and after it was shattered by the Beirut explosion. Abdo Pharaon's great-grandfather built the house in the early 1800s, and it was passed on from generation to generation, holding a wealth of precious memories. Minutes before the catastrophic explosion, 76-year-old Abdo was reading a newspaper outside his much-loved home. But in a matter of seconds, everything was blown away. His home was buried by stones and walls from the neighbouring buildings. It was a miracle that Abdo and his family were unharmed, but Abdo is heartbroken to see his home completely destroyed, leaving him with nothing but his passport. But Abdo has been described as a pillar of his Beirut neighbourhood, and now the community is coming together to try and raise funds to restore the home for him and his family. A fundraising page set up for him says, "This is Abdo Pharaon, my dear neighbour and friend for the past years. He's a pillar of our sweet neighbourhood in Gemmayze. He knows everyone by their name, and not a day goes by without seeing him. He survived this tragedy by a miracle, but his house, the house he was born in, and where he lived all his life, was totally destroyed." The page adds, "Abdo's great-grandfather built this house 200 years ago. He lived here with his children beside him until the explosion. He said that all that is left now is his passport. Everything else has gone. This was his only home, and he doesn't want to leave it." Abdo, father of Jose and Tony, was born and raised in the house along with his family, and he went on to raise both his own children in the same house. When his daughter got married, she and her husband lived in the same building. The Jose, along with her kids, mother and friend, had been outside just before the explosion, but immediately ran inside and hid in the living room when they heard a terrifying sound. The family described it as a miracle that nobody was injured. Abdo's son Tony told Mirror Online, "We were all grateful that nobody was badly injured given the closeness of the house to the explosion, knowing that one of the renters in the building passed away because of the explosion." However, Abdo was heartbroken to see the house he was born in and spent his life preserving completely destroyed. It is the only legacy he is leaving behind to his children and grandchildren. Weeks after the explosion, Abdo still has not received any compensation from the government. Tony said his dad blames the government for not taking action to prevent this catastrophe. He added, "Abdo is devastated, but is now more than ever attached to his home, and will never let go. He and his family are doing everything they can to restore the house to its exact previous status, but they need a lot of funds. With the ongoing economic crisis that Lebanon is going through along with political problems, it feels like everything is a dead end." The fundraising page set up to help the family says, "The immediate priorities are now to rebuild and reconstruct without demolishing the house. This must be done urgently before winter hits and the rain comes, inflicting even more damage." All funds raised will be dedicated for this purpose. To help Abdo rebuild his home, click here.